The views expressed on this episode, as with all episodes of We Hate Your Baby Daddy, are based solely on our personal opinions and shit we heard in the streets.
The content here should not be taken as indisputable fact. This show is for entertainment purposes only, so enjoy and don't come for us.
Welcome back to another episode of We Hate Your Baby Daddy with Bree and Dee.
What's up? What's up?
So, as you can probably see from the episode title, today we're going to talk about Offset. But before we jump into that, this is like a special-ish kind of themed episode because when we were thinking about this episode and talking about Offset, you know how Cardi B made that song called Through Your Phone, where she's like, I went through your phone, I saw what you were doing in there, it made me upset, and then stayed with him. So what was the point? Um, we were like, why don't we find stories about like things that baby mamas have found in their baby daddy's phones? And we saw some stuff, and we're gonna read you guys some stories that we found on the internet. So the first one's pretty short. Actually, do you want to read this one?
Sure, I can read this one. All right. This one is I followed my gut about my husband and his phone. Dun dun dun. I followed my gut and now I'm livid. My husband and I have been married for 11 years. That's sad, isn't it? All right, yes. 31 female, no snooping through my husband's 38 male phone is a breach of his trust, but I did it anyway. This happened about 5 minutes ago. My husband went to hang out with the neighbor, who was a male and married for a while. I had a gut feeling to snoop through his phone, and what I found was informative, infuriating, and heartbreaking. He is flirting with an old coworker who he told me not to worry about, has an account on Adult Friend Finder, and has been texting another woman, making what seems to be plans to meet up, as well as sending her explicit pictures of himself. He is still next door, and I don't know what to do. I took pictures of all the crap I found on his phone in case I need it later for legal reasons. That's right. However, I'm wondering, should I confront him or play stupid and see how far it all escalates? Any advice or words of encouragement would be very appreciated and is kind if needed.
Oh, I think she meant to say kind of needed.
Kind of needed? Yeah. They always do that to me. Kind
Yeah.
if needed.
Yeah, that is like the third time that someone has wrote if instead of. Like, bitches, get your grammar together.
Is O and I even that close on the keyboard, or like are they just
Yeah,
stupid?
they're right next to each other.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yo, but I love how these women will be like, oh, I know it's a breach of trust. I shouldn't go through my baby daddy's phone. But I did anyway. It's like, do you know like the things I have discovered in phones? I am in full favor of snooping through these niggas' phones, especially during the vetting phase when you're getting to know them. You can just learn so much. I mean, I'd rather be a snooper and discover something and, be able to exit and know what I'm dealing with than to stay with somebody like this girl did for 11 years and then like find out all this shit. Like he has an adult friend finder. Like he probably had that for a while. That website has been around for a while.
Yeah, this isn't something that's new. And also, there's one thing that I'll say about snooping that a lot of people are like, oh, that's a breach of trust. Well, I would say that like a lot of things that people do on the low is more of a breach of trust than just snooping. Like there's a lot like adult friend finders cheating on people and not using protection. That's putting my health and my life at risk. if if my health and my life are at risk, or you give me a STD or something incurable, or like God forbid you're posting my picture somewhere without my knowledge, or you're getting yourself into something that I don't know about, like you owe somebody money or something. Like there's so many things that you could find on somebody's phone that you don't even know about. But like the benefits way outweigh the risk. Like it's like, oh, that's such a breach of trust. It's like, dude, I'm not blackmailing you. I'm like I'm looking for my own safety. I'm not going out and telling your friends or printing the pages out, mailing it to your job. I'm seeing what I can do to protect myself.
Exactly. Like that whole breach of trust thing is such a joke. And I had seen this thread on Twitter where somebody was saying like snooping through your partner's phone is abusive. And it's like, okay, yeah, in some situations, like an abusive male being like, oh, I need to see who you're talking to at all times. Like you can't even be talking to your family. Like, yeah, that's abusive, but that's a symptom of something else. A woman going through a husband's phone because they are just trying to protect themselves. That's not abuse. So people just throw that term around like very willy-nilly, and it bothers me because like I said, I've discovered some wild shit. Like I used to be married when I was in my 20s, and the main cause of the divorce was that I discovered something unspeakable. Like, and I promised him like I would never really like talk about it. And I honestly don't want to. It's embarrassing for all parties involved. But I saw that, and we had been together 6 years. And when I saw what I saw, I was like, it's done. And honestly, anytime I've discovered something on a phone or a laptop in a relationship, including my previous one with Drunky Crashy, I just ended it immediately because if they're hiding that from you, what else are they hiding? If they're hiding infidelity, if they're hiding, just being secretive about whatever their doings are, like it's not a good example of a person with good character. So
No, and like I said, if somebody's that sneaky, you're literally just hitting the tip of the iceberg about their sneakiness. Like I said, I've been through somebody's phone where like yeah, there was their text messages, and then I went and found their secret Instagram account. Then I went and found their secret email, and then their secret Craigslist. Like it was like it just kept going and going. And after stuff like you see stuff like that, you really have to like think about, am I ready to see, like, not even if you're ready to see, if you see something like that, you got to really like weigh all the options. Like, what are you about to be exposed to? A, and B, can you handle what's going to happen when you're going to be exposed to it? Because somebody that's that sneaky, they're going to get up to something that they can't get out of easily. And it's not just going to be, it's just going to be like a little lifetime. It was just going to be like a little affair. And like, no, girl, like you're going to be at risk.
absolutely. And when you mentioned finding like a Craigslist account, Craigslist used to be wild back in the day. I'm sure it still is on the low, but back in my day, when I say you could find anything on Craigslist, you could find anything. So if you found like some naughty shit like in a Craigslist account that somebody had like that, you got to get out of there. Like that person doesn't
Dude,
care
my
about life.
jaw dropped. I'm like, holy shit.
I'm very curious to know what it is, but let's not go into the weeds too
I think
much.
we're both like we both the people, well, not even people, but like the people that we dealt with know about our show and stuff. Not just the ones that we talk about, like the ones that we've named, but they are aware of us, and we know that the shit was unspeakable. I've seen things, and when I tell girls, bitch, if you see something that you didn't want to see, that's only the beginning, and you will see worse. I promise you, you will see worse. So get the fuck out while
Exactly.
you can.
Especially if they're like porn addicted. Like, I mean,
Oh, ew.
I found a secret Reddit account once that, I mean, the things that I witnessed with my own ojos, I
My
wanted to
eye.
gouge my beautiful eyes.
And it's not even that. It's just like, also, it's just like, you know how like they're like heartbroken and stuff, and it's just like when you see some stuff like that, you can't really confront them about it because you were being sneaky. You gotta sit down and you have to have dinner with this man. The shit that you've seen, like you're having pot roast, you're looking over at the pot roast at him like across the table, like you nasty, you disgusting piece of shit. Pass the salt.
Why when I see something, like I said, I'm out because I can't do that. I can't hide my face. If I saw that you were talking about, I don't even want to say it. If I saw you were talking about something super, super nasty, I can't sit there and look at you over pot roast. Like I would throw it up immediately. I would take one bite and then gotta get out of there.
no kink shaming. Like there was nothing illegal. Thank God. Like there was nothing illegal. There was nothing non-consensual, nothing illegal, but it was just fucking gross. It was just
I'm a
like,
kink shamer myself, so
well, you know what? I will kink shame if it's something like that I'm not into, but it wasn't something that I would call the FBI about. Like it wasn't
oh,
like
that's
that.
good at
There
least.
were no
Yeah,
hard drives.
I've also never found anything FBI worthy, thank God. But about this person, that story we just read, my advice to them, obviously leave. Like, I mean, as far as legal stuff, we're not lawyers, but you find something like that, you leave.
And get tested.
Yes, first thing first, because she says in there, like, oh, I don't know if they met up yet. There's just plans to meet up, but you don't know, bitch. You have no idea.
And that's just the one that you found.
Exactly. Okay, I'll read the next one. It's a bit long, but
This one is sad.
it kind of reminds me a little bit about my past situation that I mentioned because this woman says that she found her baby daddy's Reddit account. And yeah, it is kind of sad, but here we go. So last night, my husband, 26-year-old male, gave me, 25-year-old female, his phone to put my order into since we were getting Chinese. I know his password and we each have free access to each other's phone, but I never really checked his phone. When I was putting my order in, a message from someone on Reddit came up, and I thought I was going to have a panic attack. I knew my husband used Reddit, but I didn't know what he was doing on Reddit. I clicked on the message and saw the back and forth between him and this other woman. The messages were intimate, as he was asking her for more quote unquote photos, if you get what I mean. I looked further and saw my husband was in numerous NSFW, not safe for work, groups dedicated to other women's spicy pictures. The woman whose message came up was not the only woman he had been messaging as well. Upon further inspection of his Reddit account, I found his posts in marriage groups where he is lying about our relationship and our child. He made one post talking about how I don't let him talk to his female best friend who is like a sister. But my husband does not have a female best friend that I have ever known about. My husband also lies about our 4-year-old daughter, stating that she often disrespects him and clearly favors her other parent over him. Our daughter is the sweetest little bean whose disrespect is usually just saying duh after a sentence, which she learned from him. I'm currently 8 months pregnant with our second child, and I feel numb. I don't know how I could have missed my husband messaging multiple women behind my back for who knows how long. I showed him what I have found after he asked if I had decided what I wanted and was met with a deer in the headlights look. He cried.
They always cry. Why?
We love men's tears. He cried and he said he just does things sometimes and doesn't remember doing them. I feel like that is the most ridiculous excuse he could have possibly given. And it's honestly more disrespectful to me that he thinks I'm dumb enough to simply think he just doesn't remember. I slept in my daughter's room last night, and he is currently at work. I know there was no physical cheating involved, but I just don't feel like I can truly ever trust him again. If he hid this, I can't help but wonder what else he has hidden. And there's more. She provides two updates. In the first one, I'm just gonna summarize it. She says that she's okay. She called her mom. She said that she began having contractions, like she was 8 months pregnant. So, she got admitted into L&D, labor and delivery, because of the high blood pressure. Her daughter came with her. She's just kind of focusing on the baby. And then she added he doesn't use drugs or drink. Because I feel like people in the comments are probably like, well, is he on drugs? Is that why he doesn't remember? Why would you believe him? Anyway, she says that he doesn't have any mental health issues either. Lie. I mean, not to be mean, but he probably is a like sociopath at the very least to be able to lie about your kid like that.
Or some type of attention seeking behavior, some type of personality disorder to like lie for attention from people from the internet. Like, what the fuck? Get a hobby,
You're lying on
grown
a
ass
four-year
man.
old your little baby 4-year-old child, you're going on the internet saying that she's disrespectful and favors someone. Like, what? That's a
Oh
4-year-old.
my God, was he posting his 4-year-old on Am I the Asshole or something?
She doesn't specify, but I think it was probably in like maybe like a dead bedroom forum or like something like that. That's what I assume. Because why else would you be talking about your kid online to anybody?
This nigga is evil.
So she goes on to say that he came to the hospital and brought her flowers in a card and tried to comfort her, but she had a panic attack. And the nurse was like, "You need to get the fuck out." And then her mom and brother came and they took over like caring for her daughter so she could get some sleep like outside of the hospital. And the husband's been like texting and he claims he's satisfied in our marriage and that he likes the attention he gets from making the posts. That's why he lied about our family. Like,
Sassy man apocalypse.
yeah, when I discovered what I found in someone's account on Reddit, they basically said the same thing to me. I just like the attention. I wasn't actually going to meet anybody. Like, you're a married man. If you need attention, have a conversation with your fucking wife. Why are you online lying to I cannot get over lying to strangers about your child. That's despicable behavior. Like that's when I look at my daughter, I'm like, this is my precious angel baby child. And maybe I lie in the opposite direction about how about her perfect like behavior and like just that kind of stuff. But like I can't say I could ever talk badly about her. Like I created her. Like she's my everything. So it just really boils my blood that and it's you mostly kind of see this behavior from men where you can just trash your child online and it's like whatever. Just another Tuesday for you. Like, ew.
I think they just have like a, I don't know. They just have like a mental disconnect from, they don't love the same or something. Like something's just wrong with them. They
I
don't
do
love the same.
I do say that a lot because for a lot of men, I really feel like they just don't. But it's not because they're incapable, it's because of how they're socialized. Where for women, we're socialized to care and to take care and be caretakers and be kind and sweet and, just power through everything. Whereas men are socialized to just be like, I just don't give a fuck about anything. And there's some like, my boyfriend, obviously, who we had an episode with, if you want to listen to it, it's called We Love Your Baby Mama, featuring the Red Scare. In that episode, we kind of touched on it like a little bit. Like he was raised by a single mom and he looked at her with respect. Like, she brought us over to this country and was able to take care of us and he loves very openly and generously. Someone like this guy clearly just socialized to be like, oh, I have to have a family because that's what you do. But at the end of the day, you can see he doesn't give a fuck about them. How are you going to show up at the hospital where your wife was admitted to having high blood pressure and then stress her out more?
And like even if she were like, "Oh, I forgive you. You can come here," he would just like be like, "Oh wait, I have to go to the bathroom." He would be right back on Reddit, like texting these girls again, asking for naked pictures. Like guys like
Right.
this don't change. They don't change, and they don't learn. They're just thing wrong. You were wrong for going through my phone.
Exactly. You're abusive for going through my phone. Um, and then
Well,
with
we
that
both
being
did things wrong. I cheated on you. You went through my phone.
abusive. And so, with that being said, that's Cardi B song, Through My Phone. That is why we want to talk about Offset. And so, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. So, we are going to talk about Offset. His real name is Kiari Kendrell Cephus. And we were trying to figure out where does that last name come from? And Deep was like, is that Turkish? Like, I actually have no idea. I'm gonna look it up actually. So the Cephas family name was found in the USA and Canada between 1880 and 1920. Most Cephas families were found in the USA in 1880. In 1880, there were 72 Cephas families living in Maryland. This is about 41% of all the recorded Cephuses in USA. So a slave name, I guess. I don't know.
Bree, that's so dark.
I mean,
I just
look
caught
at
what
the
the fuck
time
you said, and
period.
I just caught what the fuck you said, and I caught the timeline. That's so dark.
I mean, it's history. This is a partially historical podcast,
I
okay?
mean, fair enough, but Jesus Christ.
Thomas Jefferson probably owned the Cephuses. I'm sorry. Let me stop.
Please don't bring that ghost up.
Go stream our Thomas Jefferson episode if you haven't already. Um, Anyway, Kiari Kendrell Cephus, also known as Offset, he was born December 14th, 1991, which I found interesting because he's actually younger than me. I'm like, ew, I did
I
not know
thought
that. I
he
mean,
was much older than that.
yeah, if you look at him, he also, I mean, with the hard
He went
life that
through
he lived,
hell.
girl, like we said, hard face, hard life. Like, I mean, I look like a spring chicken. He looks like a game chicken, like the kind that you want.
A
And they just
cockfight.
he does. He looks like the bait chicken for a cockfight. I'm sorry. Anyway, he's professionally known as Offset. He's actually from Georgia. He's a rapper. He is known for being part of the group Migos with Quavo and Takeoff, R.I.P. But he is best known for being Cardi B's baby daddy.
Was he the one that was left off of Bad and Bougie?
Do I look like I was left off of Bad and Bougie?
Oh, what? Do I look like I was left off of Bad and Bougie?
That's exactly how he said it. Now we gotta post that in the visuals for the show. Because that is still one of the funniest fucking memes. Like, why did you get so hype and mad? All you had to do was say, "Oh wait,
And
this
you,
happened or this didn't happen."
right? Do I look like Bad and Bougie?
Like you weren't
No,
on the song, nigga.
he didn't
Why
know
are
how
you
to
mad?
proceed like that. No, when they all progressively stood up and like got active.
That was so funny. Took off their headsets. Oh my god, so funny. Okay, so
Take off RIP. That was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
interesting tidbit about Kiari Kendrell Cephus. So apparently he started off his like professional career as a backup dancer for Whitney Houston when he was 11. And I'm like, I kind of want to see that music video because I want to see a little Offset and see if he always looked as hard in the face as he does now. I'll have to look it up later and see.
What
Um,
fucking Whitney Houston song needed backup dancers that were 11-year-old little black boys?
I gotta look it up. The song was it was called "What You Looking At." Never heard it.
How do you tell the Migos apart?
The only reason I know about Offset is because of Cardi B. Like otherwise I wouldn't be able to. Can you?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was like looking at pictures of them. I don't know. They kind of like all look like they should always be together. And now that there's only two, it shouldn't be like that because now I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, it was interesting because I when I was doing the research for the show, Offset is not related to Quavo and Takeoff. They've known each other since they were kids. And so Quavo and Takeoff were the ones that were related. And I was like, but they all look so similar. And I was like, is that racist? No, I'm just kidding.
It can't be racist. That's the benefit of us both being black. Nothing that we can say can be too super racist.
Exactly. We can say Cephas was a slave name and not get canceled.
Yeah. And we can use the
Um,
N word pretty liberally, but not too liberally
Too
because I feel
liberal.
like they might take away like a lot of our privileges. Actually, let me backtrack on that. Let's get back on topic.
So Offset has 5 kids by 4 different baby mamas. And in my opinion, I feel like he has gotten around a lot in the industry. And I didn't know this, but he dated Amber Rose in the past, who I kind of look at her as like she's like an industry kind of like sugar mama because she's like 10 years older than him. And she would like progressively dates like younger and younger men. I mean, maybe that's her preference, whatever. But it seems like she kind of like balls out on them. Like she's probably trying to like bet on them and see like which one can I nab at the beginning of the career. I mean, whatever. Let her do her thing. I don't have any problems with her, but I just found that interesting that they dated.
I forgot that Amber Rose is like doing stuff now. I thought she just kind of like settled down and sat down.
What is she doing?
What has she ever done?
Good point. I know she did the slut walk with who was it? Was it Black China? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. Good on Black
I mean, that
China.
was
I'm
a
glad that
long time
she's
ago.
yeah. I wanted to do that. That was cool.
Yeah, Black China has like turned it around. She goes by Angela White now, like her real name. So
That
one thing
girl's been
that
through hell.
oh, absolutely. I mean, you see who her mom is, Tokyo frickin' Tony. That is a crazy bitch.
I mean, like when your mom makes it like your legacy for your daughter to carry the flame for you to be the next stripper, it's gonna be some fucked up shit going on.
Absolutely. So one thing that cracked us up when we were doing research for this episode was if you go to Offset's Wikipedia page and go to the controversies section, it is so long. Like the first thing listed on there was that while Migos was like blowing up, he was in jail for burglary. And I was like, damn, he was probably in there like I'm sorry, it's not funny, but he was probably like stealing to fund studio time because studio time's expensive. And then he kept violating the probation from that arrest. Like one time he was in a school zone, he had guns and drugs on him. And then he went to jail and he attacked someone and he started a riot. And so everything from beyond that point, it's like, nigga, you were already famous. What was the reason? Like, people, if you go online and you see like the conversation around him, people will say, "Oh, he's so unproblematic," but in my opinion, he seems really stupid and a little bit deranged because, like, one of the last things on the controversies list is that in 2021, he got sued by a rental car company because he kept pushing back the date to return the car, pushing it back. Then he stopped paying it, and they were like, Offset, where's the fucking car? He was like, you know what? I don't know. They're like, what do you mean you don't know? He's like, I have no idea where the car is. I don't know what happened to it. Can't tell you. Like, who does that? Who does that? So they're suing him. Like, Offset, just return the car. Where is it?
I feel like he's just in the way. He's one of those people that just does shit to do it.
It seems like it. Who loses a rental car like that? I mean, that's not even famous person shit. That's weird shit, weirdo shit.
That's something like not even like an average person would do. Like
No,
you would go on Judge Judy for that and she would cuss you out for that.
terrible. But let's go ahead and jump into Offset's like timeline of his baby mamas, of which there are four, and his five kids.
All right. So the first of Offset's kids is Jordan Cephus, born to Justine Watson in 2009. We're not sure of her age, but Offset was 17 when he got her pregnant. And Bree edited a note that he was a slutty teen dad. So thank you for that, Bree. And the only thing is anyone really knows about her or hears from her is that Offset is a deadbeat and he doesn't pay child support unless the court forces him to. The kid was born in 2009, but he only met him in 2017 after a paternity test. So she just stays out the way, and I don't blame her because he sounds pretty much awful for that.
Yeah, it says like pretty much she only is in the news when she's suing him for child support. I mean, that's a terrible thing to have to
Queen.
do, to like have to chase after this slutty teen dad. That's still cracking me up, but
That's awful. Then
that's
there's
what they say about us if we become teen moms.
oh no, I didn't say no. He's still a slutty teen dad. It's awful that he did this all to his child. Like
You're right. I'm sorry. For a second, you were defending him.
no,
How can I think
Offset's a slut. You're a slut, and you should have kept it in your pants. You should have stayed celibate until
34?
you were 18. Offset.
I'm a week.
Yeah. Where's your purity
Where's
ring?
your purity ring? I was just about to say that. Okay. So the next kid is Cody Cephus. He was born to, I want to say this is how you say the name, Oriel Jamie is the baby mom's name. I don't know, but I mean, I hope
Moral
I'm pronouncing
Oriole.
it L'Oreal.
Sorry, miss.
I'm sorry. So Cody Cephus was born in 2015. And apparently Offset was actually publicly dating this baby mama, and he was cheating on her with the next baby mama on the list, and allegedly he was also cheating on her with Cardi B at the same time. And all we really know about Oriole is that she's a salon owner. She lives in Missouri. She minds her business. And it looks like Offset at least performatively acknowledged Cody and has posted pictures of him to Instagram, like baby daddies be doing. And Oriole has like occasionally thrown some shade at him online, but mostly she just keeps it cute, keeps it private. She'll like post and delete some stuff, but nothing serious.
Respect that. So the next is Kalea Marie Cephus, daughter born to Shyla Lamore in 2015, literally the same year he had Cody. Um, he's a whore for that. This is called Project Twins when you have two baby moms pregnant at the same time. I know they like to call it you know how kind of like Irish twins. That's when you have the same baby
Right.
mama, but it's like kind of like in the same yearish. This
Right.
is
Project
Project
Twins is like
Twins.
if you're a nigga in the projects and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a closed off community and you're a whore like Offset and you just go impregnating everybody. So when you have two baby mamas pregnant at the same time, they call it Project Twins.
That's awful that we even had to come up with that.
Girl, I know. Like, keep it in your fucking slutty pants.
She claims he refused to take a paternity test and he blocked her because he was trying to gaslight her. The whole time he was hiding the fact that his girlfriend at the time, Oral Janie, was also pregnant. It's Oriole, but I'm gonna say Oral. He's a real
That
piece
reminds
of
me of
shit for that.
Moral Oral. Remember that show
Yeah,
on Adult
Moral
Swim?
Oral. It looks like she's a singer, and apparently she dropped a diss track about Cardi B. That's fucking hilarious. I want to
It's so
listen
bad.
to it.
It's so
Was it bad? What could you say bad
Girl,
about
so
Cardi B?
the song is called Like Me, and I'm telling you, I when I was researching the episode, I listened to it. Don't do it. I wish I could go back in time and reclaim the like maybe minute and a half that I lasted listening to it. It's just it's not good. And I honestly couldn't even it's not memorable either. I couldn't even tell you what she was really talking about or trying to say. So
So basically, it was just like a fuck you song, but not a real like clear fuck you.
right, she doesn't name anybody. It's just like she's just talking shit.
Oh, she didn't even say it with her chest. Okay.
Nope.
So, wow. Okay. Apparently, he claimed he couldn't pay child support for her, but then he went to a strip club and publicly boasted that he dropped $500,000 there. So she took him to court for that.
I would have done the same fucking thing. Like, so you got 500,000 to drop on stripper booties, but not to pay child support for your daughter?
Can you imagine the headache the enforcement office had to do there? Like they had to go to the like managers at the strip club, like, was this man here and can we roll the tapes? And they're like seeing him like do the ones and he's like, yep, yeah, that was him.
I mean, how despicable, like, I mean, I know this show is about shitty baby daddies, but it's like you have at this point, this is the third child. Like, you're not really paying child support regularly for the other two kids. Like, because again, this is 2015. The other one he didn't acknowledge until 2017. And you're lying saying you don't have it. Even though you're a famous rapper, you're always wearing these chains, always iced out, always on tour, and you can't give the money to your kids, but you can drop it on stripper ass. Okay,
He's
whatever.
just awful to be awful, I feel like Offset just is
Mm.
just awful to like he has no reason to be. He has no tragic backstory. He just wants to be a dick.
And he claims like it's like I grew up in that hard like I listened to some interviews. He does claim that he did have a hard life growing up in Georgia. And you know what? I'll give him that, whatever. But women have hard lives too. And do you see any of these baby mamas like abandoning the kids, not acknowledging them? No, they stay under the radar. They don't expose him as they could be doing, and they take care of his multitude of kids. So
If I had to live through the trenches, you would literally I would literally bite you before I drop more than $50 at a strip club. I'm sorry.
honestly, I mean, when I go to strip clubs, I will get $100, not of my own money, of whoever whoever I'm with. I would take out 100 in once, spend it as I see fit, and then leave. Like 500K? Really? 500K? Okay.
It's a house.
So the next set of kids is both by Cardi B. The first one, Culture Kiari Cephus. They had her in 2018. In my personal opinion, based on everything that I learned while I was researching this episode up until we got to the point where we're now talking about Cardi B, I really feel like she's the only one that he proposed to and married because it was for clout. And it's ironic because him and Cardi B have a song together called Clout, which I think is trash. Basically, they're like, do anything for clout, do anything for that. Yeah, you, Offset, you do anything for clout, including proposing to Cardi B, which I don't care what anybody says. If you cheat on somebody as much as Offset has cheated on Cardi B and publicly, you don't care about her. You don't care about her health. Even in her songs, she'll say like, you don't even know if the women that you're sleeping with, they could have stole your chain while you were asleep. They could kill you. Like, you don't even care about your own safety. So why would you think that he cares about you? But she would always like go online and say, "Oh, I'm leaving him." But then she will do an interview and say, like, "I can't leave him. I don't want to start over and rack up new bodies. Like, this is my husband. This is real life, like wife shit." Like, and so then she'll say again, the next public cheating scandal, "Oh, I don't do all that cheating shit. I'm gonna leave." And like, I think she filed like once and then took it back. And then now she is claiming that they split up a couple months ago. I don't think it's clear whether either of them have filed. Once she went online to talk about the stuff that Blueface is saying. So it's funny how much Blueface comes up in our
He's
episode.
just always there. No matter what, Blueface is always in the background. Blueface is like the final boss of baby daddies.
He really is. He went online and was saying that Offset and Chrisean Rock were sleeping together, and Chrisean obviously denies it. I mean, there's really no truth to it. There's no way, honestly, I could see that even happening at all. But honestly, you never know. Look at what Offset does.
I
But
don't doubt it. I like they're everybody involved is gross.
yeah, honestly. And so she had to go online, kind of address it a little bit. It was a little fucked up because like everybody keeps saying online, Blueface wouldn't even have a career without the fact of Cardi B jumped on his song Tatiana and, did a really nice verse on it, like a full minute verse, and like really made the song rise into popularity. Because otherwise, it would have just been some bullshit, and we would have never heard from him again. Because I can't name another song by him. Nobody can. Um,
I didn't even know he made Tatiana. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right. I really didn't either. I didn't connect the dots until one time I saw something about him fighting his mom and sister, and it said Tatiana rapper fights his mom and sister. And I was like, that's who sings.
Yeah. He's
So
such a Jaden.
he's a what?
Like he's such like a, I don't know. He looks like his name would be Jaden
He does. It's the light skinnedness, I think.
in the mushroom haircut. Yeah, but let's go back to the
Mhm.
point. So she basically exposed him after he was like, "Yeah, you were like having sex with Offset," and I think that pissed Cardi B off enough to just say, "I don't want to be involved in this anymore." But also, she went through his phone and found what did she find, Brie?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to pause real quick and say we were right. Because if you go back and listen to our Blueface episode, I think Dee said two times, once at the beginning of the episode and once at the end, that Blueface is secretly, maybe not so secretly anymore, riding with the LGBTQ community. He is gay. Krishan said that she found gay porn on his phone. And
His
that's,
gun is pink.
is it?
Yeah. His gun is
There you
pink
go.
and glittery. His
That's all
gun
I
is
needed
pink.
to
He's
hear. So
LGBTQ.
she posted this on Twitter. It's now deleted, unfortunately, but of course there's screenshots. but she said that she found some gay porn on his phone, and that's why that time he busted down the door when she was in the bathroom with his phone about to go through it, because he didn't want her to see what was in there. And everybody's like, we know that you cheat on her, like we know that. So what were you so desperate to hide? And that's what it was gay porn. So that explains why he just all of a sudden decided to drag two people who are more famous than him to put the attention on somebody else, because I really don't think he wants to even talk about trying to beat those allegations. So
He didn't. He completely circumvented it when she was like, I got my tattoo covered up because I didn't want no zesty nigga on my neck. He didn't even like address that. Like that would be the first thing I would address. I'd be like, hey, you're not gonna call me zesty and you have me tattooed on your neck.
yeah, he even addressed it like in a like one sentence later. It's like, oh, is that all you got? And it's like that's a lot, nigga. That's a lot for her to have got on you. Okay, like
Wave set Cephus.
why the fuck would you name your kid Wave Set? We were talking about this yesterday, and we were like, isn't that the thing that niggas be doing under their do rags, setting their waves? Like that's what you named your kid.
Like his middle name is Set. Well, is that
Hmm.
supposed to be like an honor of Offset? But that's messed up. Wait,
I
no.
mean, I think it is because the other one is Culture Kiari, and Kiari is his first name, so I guess they wanted him to have part of the name, but Wave Set?
He makes me mad. Like I said, this nigga just does things to upset people for attention, and this was very upsetting because like the only note that she has under wave set is just wave set question mark.
Question mark, because what else can he say? Cardi B was stupid. She got cheated on from the moment she met him, and he was already at Project Twins, was like cheating on them until now. And she still had two kids with him. And I mean, there were times where I would see just random celebrity tidbits. Honestly, before we started doing the show, I barely followed celebrity news, but I would see things sometimes like, oh, for his birthday, she just gave him like $1 million or something, because she's like, oh, he has everything. Let me just like fall out on him with cash, buy him cars, like do all this stuff. I don't think Kiari Cephus, as a member of Migos, is on her level and is really making that much and is really doing it that big. So for
They're
her to pull
you know
out on
what they
him,
are? Not only are they like total industry plants, they like really drag down her star power. Like he really dragged down her star power so much. Like she had that whole coming from the mud thing and making her own as like as like a rap star, and then he married her, and then everybody was like, "Oh, Cardi got corny as shit." Like not to
hmm,
upset the Barbs, but like it was kind of like the same thing was like when like Nicki got married. It was just like, oh,
I was gonna say the same thing. I don't want to
it
piss off
was
the
like,
Barb's
oh, you're a strong,
either.
independent woman, and this is what you married. Okay.
I don't want to piss off the Barb's either, but for our listeners that aren't familiar about like stan culture, so Nicki Minaj, she has like fans called the Barb's with a Z on the end, and they are like obsessed with Nicki Minaj. You can't say anything bad about her, but thing is, she married a guy who like had these horrific charges against him for like
We're not even, that's the thing. We're not even saying anything bad about her or her music. We're literally just
right,
reporting. Like her husband is a convicted rapist.
right, and like
He
I'm
could
pretty sure
not
the
be
victim was
allowed
underage.
near a school or around children. Like those aren't, that's not shade. That's not tea. That's literally like he's on a docket.
Right. And she's still knowing that. I mean, she apparently knew him her whole life. She still married him, had a kid with him. And he didn't he like make a video where he was threatening Offset or
He made a couple videos. Like he has like this kind of like faux gangster thing where he like threatens people, but I'm pretty sure like yeah, like he was threatening a bunch of people with a bunch of videos. I'm pretty sure they're now deleted, right? Oh, there we
yeah,
go.
I think so. Yeah, he violated his probation and got put under house arrest for threatening Offset. He made like series of videos on social media where I'm pretty sure he was like outside of Offset's house. His name's Kenneth Petty. I
That is
always
so
forget his name.
terrifying.
Yeah, and
A
so
convicted rapist is outside of my house threatening me. I would be hollering for the
right,
cops.
and Offset has a bunch of kids. I think he only lives with the latest two, but still, like that person, and
I
he was
have a
outside the
daughter, dude.
right, he was outside the house with two other people and was just making all these videos. It was really weird because it's like, how do you even know Offset? Like, because you know how Cardi B and Nicki Minaj got into like a
Okay,
scuffle
that's
at
hilarious. He said, "Call the cops, you flop," with a series of laughing emojis. Oh, how are these people? How are these? How do these people have millions of dollars? This is so fucking ghetto.
and this is what they do with them. It's like, I always say my situation's pretty ghetto. It's not, but like this makes me feel a lot better, honestly. Like,
Okay, he was ordered to pay a $55,000 fine, which Nikki paid, and then he just went
absolutely.
right back to. Oh my god.
And Nicki Minaj keeps trying to act like he has money, and people were online kind of saying, "Oh, I bet you bought your own ring." And she's like, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." Where would this felon have gotten the money to buy you a ring, sister? Like, we're not stupid.
We'll just leave that for a whole nother time. Like her album
It's
just
true.
dropped. I do not feel like being barbed right now.
That's very true. We're gonna get canceled by the bars.
I mean, like he threatened Offset. It's an Offset episode. It's hilarious. He was outside of his house. I would be like, dude, I have a daughter in here. I'm calling the cops.
This article is so shady. It says the New York State Department labels Petty as a level 2 sex offender, which deems him of having a moderate risk of a repeat offense after he was convicted of attempted rape in the first degree in 1994, more than 2 decades before he married Minaj. Like the way they phrase that, level 2 sex offender, like she still
Yes,
married him.
in the first degree. Like they really
It reminds me of Law and Order SVU. Like
dun
these
dun.
these sexually based offenses are especially heinous.
Oh, he's especially heinous.
Yeah, and she
He
married
pulled
him
out us of
anyway.
somebody's house.
Right. And now he is in the house. So, anyway, I mean, that's offset. Like, if we are going to be honest, I don't, again, like I always say, I don't know him. I don't know any of these people that we do these episodes about, but I hate him. He's weird. He's crazy. He seems stupid and deranged. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I hate him. We hate
He's
your
just
baby
a
daddy,
try
all four of
hard.
you. He is a tryhard,
He
like
tries
doing
too
anything
hard to
for
be.
clout.
He tries too hard to be hard. Like, why are you inciting riots in prison? Like,
That's
I feel
wild
like
to me.
he was a backup dancer for fucking Whitney Houston when he was 11 years old. He was an industry baby. He's been like groomed for this since he was like a kid. And so was his like the other Migos. Like you just want to be hard, but you're not hard. You didn't dig it out the mud. You're an industry plant. Like you were
And
making you were fucking featured in a song with Katy Perry. Let's be fucking real.
that's very true. And also, like, justice for the rental car because
Yeah, like you have a
where
rental
is
car
that?
company suing you. Oh yeah, man, I'll fuck you up. I got a rental car company after me. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
He probably refers to them as his ops. It's like this rental car company, they my ops. I'm in the street just trying to survive.
Remember when like real niggas ops were like, I don't know, drug
Tupac and
lords?
yeah, like Suge Knight, like that kind of shit. Now it's
Oh, Suge Knight was like the boogeyman. Like you got
he
a
still
rental car
is to me.
company like dinging his credit.
He's like, my credit score dropped down. The ops are after me. Okay, on a scale that we're just gonna make up. Um, how would we rate this baby daddy?
Oh, I want to make the scale.
Okay,
On
please
a
go ahead.
scale of Katy Perry feature to outside of your house convicted rapist, I would say outside of your house convicted rapist, I hate you. And I have a string of laughing emojis.
Upset. I do love that song.
Yeah. Like,
Um, and then if I was gonna be any of these baby mamas, it all seems like I would prefer to be the first one because it's like that's the one that didn't know what she was getting into. She was probably a teenager herself. I mean, we don't know her age, but she was probably a teenager herself when they got together. And even though he didn't acknowledge the kid for ages, she still didn't really have to deal with him and she gets to like keep her public life private. Like Cardi B just it's just been embarrassing herself from day one that of meeting him. So
Yeah, honestly, if I could be any one of them, I would be Cardi, but I would just take out Cardi's brain and put my brain in there, and I'd be like, wait a minute, I'm a fucking millionaire, and I have more money than you, clout than you, and I have more songs than you, and fame than you, and fans than you. I'm taking my kids and the house and the car. Get the fuck out.
that is such a good point. It's like I really think like we talked about this earlier, her culture and upbringing kind of has led her to believe that she is supposed to stick by this man, but I mean that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, woman, you're a internationally known celebrity. Free yourself.
Like I'm not even like I don't even have like a 1% of the advantages that he has. And if a dude like looked at me funny, I'm out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like it's like, oh, you my ride or die. I'm like, well, I'm riding and you're dying. Like there's no, there's no benefit to this. Like the no.
Exactly. It's like people say like, oh, like be a ride or die. Like there is no ride. You only die. And why would you want to have those as the only two options? Like, especially as a millionaire.
Yeah, like why are you riding and dying for? Go to the Bahamas. Go relax somewhere. Why does everybody want to struggle so hard?
Right. There's nothing noble about that. And that's what I want women to know. Like, there's nothing noble about the struggle that men will put you through. You're not gonna get any good girl points. Like, you're just gonna fuck shit up for yourself and like leave with trauma.
Like congratulations, you gave yourself PTSD when you could have went to like a vacation somewhere, or you could have took your kids to like someplace new and went someplace nice, but instead you're on the ground crying and throwing up,
Sliding down the
getting texts
wall.
from Blueface. Like what the fuck? No, I don't want to live that life.
He's probably begging in her DMs right now, like, can we do like a Tatiana remix reboot? Like, I'm sorry.
No, not Blueface. He was like, "Can we do a Tatiana too?" But what if I come out the closet? No, no, dude.
Oh God, he'll probably do the next one with like Lil Nas X when he finally comes out.
You know what? The funny thing is, Lil Nas is so true to himself. I don't think he would even like to. You know what? I don't even think he even thinks of Blueface because he's
That's a
so
good
true to
point.
himself. He probably like he's like, oh my god, they're like polar opposites when you think of it.
They're like two sides of the same gay coin.
Yeah, they're both sassy, but Lil Nas is just like the angel of sassy.
That's right. I love him. Like people say Lil Nas X is so problematic, but I think in my eyes, there's very little that he can do wrong.
He's not even problematic. He's literally just trolling you in the right way. Like
That's true. If you feel he's
he's pissing
problematic,
you off.
it's you're getting successfully trolled.
Yeah, he's just like, don't be home of phobic. And I'm like, what?
Did you
He's like,
see
you scared of homes?
he just recently posted a reel where he was like he said I traveled back to the 1700s to like twerk and play my new song for Rosa Parks and he's like on the bus
All right,
twerking
that
in
makes you
black
want to
and white.
scream. Like, that's hilarious. Like,
It
why would
was
that man say
I mean
that?
I was dead on the floor and people were commenting like, wait, that timeline's not right.
Like, wait a minute, what? Like, he just says anything. That's hilarious. He says anything and it's hilarious. And you know that he's being facetious. Blueface says anything and he's being evil. He's
Right.
being evil.
So that is our episode. Thank you so much for listening. Also, I want to mention that for our merch, we did a holiday price drop. So if you want to treat yourself to a cute little tote bag for the holidays and also support our show, please feel free to purchase a little bag and you know post some pictures, tag us, come on, like support us if you love us. We were looking at our like follower count. We're like, wow, we have like 50 people that like are Spotify followers, and there's even more followers on the other apps. Like people like the show, so show us some
Yeah, we
care.
really appreciate that. We were actually kind of shocked. We're like, oh my God, you guys actually like listen to us
Right?
faithfully?
Every week, like and we don't make any money off the show. We've been doing this for like a couple months now, and we hope to one day, like, have it be a success. Like, I would love that. So, help us out. Leave a review.
Yeah. Give us like a reason to like do more, like not a reason, but like give us Give us the opportunity to do more
It's a
things.
reason to
We'd love to
continue
do
living.
things.
Yeah, like I would love to just like quit my job and just 100% focus on this and moving into video content. We're going to be moving on to YouTube. Like there's just so much I envision.
Just imagine this is me holding out my little soup can and jingling my change. Like, come on, guys. You love the show. You love D,
Uh,
don't you? Do
you
it
love
for
old
old
D,
D.
sweet D from
Yeah,
Philly.
sweet D needs some change.
And it is free. It costs you nothing to leave a review, to click the 5 stars on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. It costs you nothing to write a little message like, hey girls, great job, keep it up. So if you could show us some love. And Dee, where can they follow us on social media?
You can follow us on WHY Baby Daddy Pod. That is our name pretty much everywhere. TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, and our go to is Instagram. Both of us are always on there, and we are pretty much always able to be reached out through there. If you want to collab, talk to us, whatever, Instagram is our go to.
Yes, talk to us, we talk back. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.